Number 20, my physical Switch collection. Number 21, my digital Switch collection. Number 22, the nipple. And now, my Nintendo Switch will explode. So there have been reports on Twitter and Nintendo Life that Nintendo Switches have been cracking, but not due to intentional reasons, and the fear is that the Nintendo Switch has heating issues, which have already resulted in things like the Switch bending, which I'll probably put in a B-roll shot, but I'm not sure if you could tell from here, but I think my Switch has bent, like, around where the volume buttons are, there is a bit of a curve. I can't really see it on my monitor, but I'll have some close-ups later on to show you. And if you go to this Nintendo Life article, which I'm not going to put pictures in this video only because I don't know if the Twitter users are going to be okay with that. I don't want them coming after me, but I will put a link in the description. And yeah, you can definitely see cracks and chips over the system. I remember seeing there was one where the crack was right over the vents on the Switch. There was ones where there was chips and cracking right on the back. So it's been pretty crazy for certain Switch owners. Now, is this affecting every single Switch owner? More than likely not. In fact, I should be a lot more definite. And there goes my laptop's phone, but I'm not going to stop this video. And Nintendo Life actually ran a poll asking people, has your Switch cracked from unintentional reasons like natural causes? And out of 1,137 voters, which, even though, yes, it's over 1,000, I still wouldn't take this as Bible just in case, because there's over 1,000 voters, but according to VG charts, over 18 million Switches have been sold. So of those 1,137 users that voted, 20% said that they had such damage and 80% said they haven't. And even Nintendo has come out and said we haven't gotten a significant amount of reports of Switches cracking due to potential heat issues. So I will say, going back to my Switch, admittedly, I got my Switch on launch day, and I honestly think a lot of the damage on my Switch is due to wear and tear over time. Like, you guys could see that I actually put a screen protector, and since I was a dumbass, I put this in my backpack. You could see some light cracking. So, if you guys can't see it, I'll have some B-roll later on. But I haven't seen any cracking or chips on the system itself. I mean, it's got some hard to see scratches, but I kind of think, again, that's more wear and tear over time since the Switch is made of plastic. And I will say, though, that the vents on the top, I don't think it was caused by cracking. I think this just fell out over time due to my dumbassery. Like, I'm a very clumsy person. I really try my damnedest to protect my gear, but I always experience some sort of damage. But I know the vent port on mine has fallen off. I mean, the fan itself is still there, but I'll show close-ups of what I mean. Another piece of damage is that my original kickstand actually fell off over time. I think that's just kind of the fragility of these Switch's kickstand, because it's not exactly the most secure thing in the world. It's not as bad as CNET wants you to think it is, but it's not exactly the sturdiest thing. But I think for the most part on my Switch, the damage is more wear and tear stuff that happens over time and due to my clumsiness. I think I'm going to lean, I would say partly the Nintendo Life poll, but when you couple that with how Nintendo is saying we haven't gotten, a significant amount of people reporting this, I think this is an issue among a really small amount of Switch users, maybe around, I would say maybe thousands, maybe. at the very most a couple million, which even then I kind of think it's really pushing it. Even a couple million out of 18 million, I think this would be an even bigger deal. And even this whole issue is starting to die down. I'm just really late on reporting about this, but I just had a lot of other topics I wanted to talk about first. I mean, I definitely don't think this whole cracking thing is like a Samsung Galaxy Note 7 phenomenon. Even then, I think how many of those Galaxy Note 7 exploded? I think it was like a couple hundred or a couple thousand or something like that. Please remind me in the comments. I'm not trying to throw shit at Samsung. I'm just having a tough time remembering. But I remember, even though it was a very small matter, in that case it was a much more dangerous issue because, phones catching light is, obviously potentially dangerous because a lot of chemicals come out that are really bad. And of course, if let's say it blows up in your house, you could be potentially setting your room or even house on fire. So that one is obviously a lot more drastic. But I will say it makes me wonder, between the bending which I'm experiencing, it makes me wonder, when something like the Switch successor comes out, am I going to be getting it not just because new games will be coming for it, but also because the Switch has gone through so much wear and tear that it was about time? Like, I will say, as much as I do love Nintendo, I've had several systems where when it was time to get the successor, I had some technical issues with them. Like with my original Nintendo DS, which I really don't want to put in the video, it's in really fucked up shape. The hinge started breaking over time, partly because from drops, and at one point the hinge got so loose, I'm honestly really worried the top screen is going to fall off one of these days. And if my original Wii, by the time it was time for me to get the Wii U, the Wii had some issues reading certain games, and some of the files on the system had corrupted, so I had to basically erase all the data, because on the Wii U you could transfer your Wii save data over to Wii U. I had to erase data for some of the games that I suspected had some corrupt data, and I had to start over from scratch with some of my games, like Wii Sports Resort, for example. And then with the Nintendo 3DS XL, I remember it was one day out of the blue, me and Penny, my sister, were gonna play it, and then all of a sudden the plastic holding the wireless light on the top right of the system like snapped off, and then all of a sudden the top screen, it didn't fall off completely, but it was now completely supported by the hinge on the far left of the system. So we were just like, okay, we can't play this anymore, gotta go get the new Nintendo 3DS XL. So I'm wondering if, because right now my Switch is working perfectly fine. If anything, I highly recommend getting one. It's the Switch, and it has some really amazing games. I don't know what those people that say Switch has no games are talking about. As you can see here, I've got Doom, Super Mario Odyssey, Wolfenstein 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and they're fabulous, really great games. I'm really glad that I really started getting into playing first-person shooters because of the Switch. Maybe not because of the Switch, but it was through the Switch that I started playing games like Doom and Wolfenstein 2. But as for how well it's going to hold up over time, I'm honestly really concerned. Because I will say, even with the news of things like Switches getting warped and bent, the thing is, I think for many of them, they still work perfectly fine, but it's just going to be a question of, will they still work over time? Will the Switch's heating issues bring down the system, and no pun intended, as the years go on, and by the time we get something like a new Nintendo Switch or a Switch revision, are we going to be upgrading because our first Switches just started to kind of die out? I honestly hope not. Like I said before, I still highly recommend the system, and if you're really on the fence, I really think you have to give this a chance, because like I said, I really don't know where those people who are like, Switch has no games, like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. They really need to give the Switch a chance and play some Super Mario Odyssey or Wolfenstein 2. So, alright guys, this has been Blood Moon Bobby. Please let me know your thoughts below. Has your Switch experienced cracking that was not caused by accidents or so forth? Do you suspect that they were caused by natural reasons over time? Please let me know. Please also let me know if your Switch hasn't experienced such damage. And if you have any ideas for videos, you could email me. My email address is below in the description, and you can also let me know in the comments. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all later. Number 23, Piplup on top of my Nintendo Switch. Hey guys, be sure to like this Blood Moon Bobby video if you enjoyed it. Please share this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment. Be sure to ring the notification bell to be notified about my latest upload. Follow me on my social media pages at Blood Moon Bobby to find out about what I'll be covering next and for more of my opinions. Thanks for watching.